Hey everybody, welcome to this NGS matchup Division D East between Special Kids and United East. I am joined here as always by my co-caster Broiled Beef.
Greetings.
And we have both teams lined up. We're about to jump into game one on Towers of Doom. So let's check with both captains here. See if they're ready, and we'll get started. All right, so here we go. We are live.
Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, bro beef. How do you feel about this one?
It's kind of strange having Towers of Doom first, because it's a very popular second map. Because then actually, once you get a feel for how the other team wants to play, you can kind of counterpick that and generally get a better feel on how you want to take these objectives or maybe push the lanes harder. But now they're just going in first.
All right, and how did we get here? Well, Special Kids banned out Dragonshire, and United East banned out Volskaya, and Special Kids chose Towers of Doom. So first ban goes out to United East, and they're going to get rid of Deckard, who is still the dominant healer. Although not all the data's in from Whitemaine's usage quite yet in NGS, so it remains to be seen what effect she's going to have on the meta. And Special Kids responds with the Murden ban. One of your favorites, I think.
Yeah, it's just an overall great healer. Great tank.
One of the two.
Yeah, you're a self healer.
All right, and Dahaka is going to get banned out by United East, so getting rid of one of those globals. They don't want to deal with that mobility around the map. Also, you get rid of stun, you get rid of some solo lane competition for whomever they're thinking about putting up top. Towers of Doom, one of those funky maps where you don't attack the core directly, right? You have to do it through the objective. Phoenix, banned out by Special Kids.
Anytime you're ready.
And a Raynor. First pick Raynor out of United East. Raynor somewhat recently reworked, getting a lot of attention from folks. Win rate isn't necessarily the best in NGS, but he's always a threat. Oh hey, there's a Broiled Beef favorite.
They have good taste. I'll give them that much.
Alright, so Special Kids bringing out the Stitches, Malfurion, so you got the hooks into the roots. That's the basic comment to be made here. Malfurion doing pretty well in the league so far.
Yeah, with Malfurion and Stitches, you also get the strong self-sustain from Stitches and Malfurion, the giving mana and Hellrider one. So it's a lot to deal with in the early lane phase because it's just two people that refuse to die.
And this is quite the powerful rotation here out of United East with Jaina and Diablo. Jaina is tearing up the league. She's doing extremely well. She gives you just about anything you could want from a mage. So you have that burst damage, she can wave clear, she can work on mercs, slows everywhere. And Diablo, always a solid frontliner. And, Special Kids with the Rhaegar ban.
Should also mention that even before the Diablo rework, the Ring APOC combo is always like a game-winning dynamic duo sort of situation.
Well said. Even though Flame Breath seems to be more popular these days, that's always a threat. Final ban of the game is going to be Hanzo. Getting rid of some of that poke, some of that... Well, he's sort of pesky, isn't he? He has mobility. Does well on mercs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely a hard character to pin down with the wall jump. Plus, you can get the long range poke. You can get a wave cure with serrated arrow.
Hmm.
Just a lot of utility for just like a basic DPS class.
All right, and special kids, their next rotation includes Kael'thas and Blaze, so a couple of fire throwing heroes there. Blaze with slows and stuns. Really great solo laner. Kael'thas tossing damage all over those objective points, those tight confines where everybody tends to get bunched together.
If you can't pick up the Jaina, you can always pick the Kael'thas, who, although right now doesn't have quite as much utility as Jaina, you still get a lot of AoE control and just flat damage. Not to mention the Living Bomb minigame you make the enemy team play, especially in those tight corners, can be very punishing with Sun King's Fury talent.
All right, United East finishing off their team with Uther and Leoric, so you have some percentage damage coming out, you have stuns, you have more frontline. And Special Kids finishing off this draft with Lunara, tons of spread damage, lots of lingering poison damage. She can grant vision, she has mobility of her own, so which team do you think won this draft?
Although I think Special Kids has a stronger early game, towards the middle and end, it's definitely going to be leaning towards United East. The combination of Jaina, Diablo, and Uther, it's a lot of lockdown and it's a lot of AoE damage, and a lot of this is going to take chaos and fighting over shrines and really small areas. It's going to be a lot for Special Kids to contend with.
Well said. I think both teams drafted really well, though, so this should be an interesting matchup. Let's see, on the blue team we have Special Kids, so we have Stitches played by Miles, Malfurion played by Lilymane BTW, Blaze is going to be piloted by Dream Crusher, Lunara played by Lister Fiend, and Kael'thas played by Arg1083.
On the side of United East, we have Diablo played by Demon Zerg, Raynor played by Korix, Jaina played by Fancy Ursa, Uther played by Noob for Hire, and Leoric played by Silversteel.
Alright, so we have a full 5v5 right into the middle here, as is often typical. Special Kids coming into this 2-game set with a 3-5 record. United East posting 5-1 in their first 6 games.
Two interesting things here are the level 1 talents. We have Stitches taking the heavy slam, so it looks like they're going to try and make up for the lost AoE with Stitches throwing in some more valuable slams, possibly a Vile Gas pick. And Uther took the Wave of Light quest, so they have a more armor duration for healing, trying to probably survive if someone gets caught up and separated by Stitches. Like Diablo here.
Hook into a root, they're just getting that synergy down right away early in the game. Demon Zerg taking lots of damage, but also has lots of health, so he just walks away. But notice has been served. This is what we're going to do. I notice Kael'thas is not Conviction. That seems to be something that hasn't been happening as much lately. See Mana Addict instead. That seems to be the most common pick these days, as United East and Special Kids work on their siege camps here. Demons are going in for a little bit of a scouting mission. Like, hey, I want to know that you're there for sure. And maybe an invade here. There's a dive in from Diablo. Gets stunned.
Diablo cutting it real close, but Uther, combination of high heals and the armor, will let Diablo get away.
Miles trying for that fadeaway hook, doesn't quite connect. It's a little too low to go back in.
Especially because they got to do something about these pumpkins, though. It's a lot of free siege for just losing a quick scrimmage there. They are going to just tank it with their faces, try and get enough room between them and the towers where they detonate.
And now you have Special Kids pumpkins marching down bot unattended, so United East will have to make a decision there. Demon Zerg hanging out in the shrubbery there. And they decide to rotate instead of engage. We're going to have 3 altars activating in 25 seconds. Level 4 talents are out. What else do you see with your elf eyes?
Both teams don't really want to go too hard in on each other, so that's okay. Never mind.
Just as you say that, there's the hook. Lots of fire coming out of Kael'thas.
Go forth and claim the altars in my name.
Salami Ishaonore.
Even Lord demands it.
The killer thing is too, if they could find anyone but Diablo, they could definitely get a kill. Unless, of course, it's a half-health Diablo.
Demon Zerg with that death charge. He's gonna go out fighting.
Oh, Jane is in
Fancy
trouble.
Ursa. Yeah. And this fight just spread out all over the place. We're map wide here, folks. As Noob to Hire tries to cap.
Oh!
Hook says no.
Special Kid's doing a remarkable job, especially since Blaze is at top, getting that push ready, getting the free siege of the Winions. Now that Blaze is here, what's really gonna... there's no way they're not gonna get this.
Stun onto Jaina. Hook onto Jaina. 3 hit points and dead. Stitch is getting the credit for that kill.
And mine alone.
Special Kids up 2-0 on hero kills as we move into the 4th minute of this match on Towers of Doom.
What I'm seeing here from Miles is it takes a lot of patience as a Stitches player to make sure you reserve that hook cooldown for the right time. And there's some people that just hook for the sake of hooking, but you got to make sure it's both off cooldown and it's a situation that'll actually benefit from pulling someone forward like that. And they're doing that very well this game so far.
Ooh, Miles just missing that hook after that little tussle. But Stitches wants more, so does Diablo, saying get away from my Reynard. The stun, the long-range stun coming out from R1083, just catching Korix at the end of that. And level 7s are attained by special kits. I know you're a Stitches main, so what do you think of Stitches build so far?
It's perhaps we do want to see of a more DPS focused Stitches, the heavy slam, anything that really helps slam out, because slam is pretty pathetic without any kind of talents to sort of bolster it up. Vile gas doing more damage than many people give her credit for, so just like you just AoE every what 2-3 seconds, and it's like a top Lunara.
Down to 300 health after getting hooked into a root. Flip Stitches in revenge and does survive. So we're still at 2 kills to 0. United East now has their level 7 talents as altars have spawned. Or altar, I should say. This is single point objective. Captured by special kids. We are getting into the action here. Silver Steel dodging that Stitches hook. What's going on bot lane here? United East pushing in. Escorting those pumpkins into the gate there.
Despite United East having a rough time in those team fights, the XP is almost completely even.
That's true. Special Kids has a slight... Well, now they don't. They did have a slight lead, but now it's pretty much neck and neck. Another Stitches hook. Whiffs. Nice exploratory move by Miles. Wasn't to reap any benefits, though. As Special Kids does get 9 first. Potentially.
Something else to notice right now is that Kael'thas is at 16 out of 20 of the Mana Addict orbs necessary. It's only 7 minutes in. That's really good. So it's once they get that 20, they can have that shield activatable, which could really save some bacon if they get in the wrong position.
Alright, both teams still lingering in this bot lane, even though both of the altars are spawning at the top of the map, so we're going to see a rotation here soon. Looks like United East is going to camp out on their side of the map, and vice versa for Special Kids. Demon Zerg, though, might be looking at some kind of exploratory move here. Looks more like just a zone.
United East trying to get those 10s just like 1-2 minions away. Probably wanted to invade with the power of hero talents, but won't be. I'll just have to settle for a 1-on-1.
Another hook on Demon Zerg's getting tired of that. Just charged right away. And we have ultimates coming out from both teams. I'm seeing some Fire Breath for Diablo, Ring of Frost from Jaina, Divine Shield from Uther, your favorite Gorge out of Stitches.
It's the mark of a confident Stitches player. It means I know I can land my hooks. I can get someone, I guess, separate as I can from them. And want to really capitalize on that, push them into an even worse situation. They find Uther, and there it goes right into the tummy.
York tries to intervene and does. Fire Breath comes out. Stitches is going to pay for that move. And that ends up, even though with the successful hook, ends up a 2-0 in favor of United East. Really snappy response there to that hook gorge combo.
United East did not even hesitate to dive in and save their buddy. And it worked out for him really well. All that damage came out, and Special Kids couldn't quite hang with that.
Yeah, this siege camp spawns just the perfect time for United East to invade. So they'll go ahead and take that. Still even on XP levels, 11-11. Nice even game here. Miles catching something other than a hero there.
That's unfortunate. It had to be a pumpkin too, so it runs immediately into the tower. Oops.
And everyone's bot lane, 10 heroes all around this one point. Noob to Hire is going to start capturing it as Phoenix comes out. There's a charge from Demon Zerg. Ring of Frost catches Miles, who also gets flipped and burned.
Kind of a funny response. The Gorge is flipping back over, pushing them back into the friendly team.
And Blaze is going to go down. Jaina notching that kill. Silver Steel super low on Leoric, but looks like United East wants to keep pressuring this all-important bot lane. In case you haven't heard, bot lane on this map is incredibly important. If you capture your enemy's keep, you can dictate a lot of the game from then on out. Potentially, if you do it correctly. That's not going to happen here, at least not quite yet. The action moves into mid temporarily. United East doing a little bit of a rotation again. They want to press this XP advantage, yeah?
Yeah, they're going right back bot. They know they want this tower, and they're going to make it happen. They have the power to do it.
13's out. 13's available. Ooh.
Oh!
There's a
finds
winner.
the money.
Fire Breath to dissuade Special Kids. Phoenix to dissuade United East. And
talk about D-shield value there. Saved Raynor's life. That could have been disastrous for United East if they had lost their main damage right before the tower's here.
Alright, so 13s, we have Devastating Charge, Rallying Cry, Icy Veins out of Jaina. That seems to be the most common pick these days. Well met,
The time is now,
which gives you that 25% additional damage dealt to stun targets by Uther. The Orc's waiting on their talent choice.
Oh, excellent ring by Jaina. Locks down 3 of the squishies. And then Icy Veins will come out just to finish everyone else off. They didn't stand a chance under those circumstances.
And here we go. United East pushing in on this bot keep, and they will take it very easily here. So they have the 14-13 level advantage. They have building advantage now. Lane pressure advantage in the most important lane on the
I
map.
have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground.
They're up
center.
8-2.
Use it well.
Well, Special Kids are back at full strength, so they will be able to defend against the pumpkin push. Maybe won't get the nice 3 free shots on top of the bottom keep.
So are they going to walk these pumpkins in? That's what you should do. Each one is a shot, potentially on the core.
Diablo's interested, but isn't quite ready to go 4v1 yet. Not quite that strong.
Now these three probably won't make it through, but perhaps the next three will, depending on how this fight goes. There's the hook gorge. Demon Zerg dives in, flame breath. D-shield on Raynor. Successfully saved. And once again, Stitches is going to pay for that play. Winter Frost comes out. Silver Steel is super low, I notice. It's having to hang out in the back line. Unlike some Leorics that we've seen in our games, Silver Steel is actually valuing their life. I think you and I have both been in games where Leorics have had like 15 deaths and stuff.
It's okay, bruh. I'm Leoric. The deaths don't matter.
Getting
Come
that
right
trait
back.
value.
Lay claim to the altars.
That's be really frustrating for Stitches there, because you get those perfect combos and you're so used to it being a guaranteed kill. I guess the best course of value would be wait for Uther to pop D-shield, then just turn on Uther or someone, because they have to get so close in order to be able to cast that and save a Gorge target's life.
Special Kids did manage to retake that bottom keep though. Of course there is a boss on this map. Haven't seen very much action in the top 2/3 though of this map. It looks like United Kids might be scoping it out though. And yes, they're interested in taking it. They see Special Kids are hanging around in the middle of the map. Oh, they decide for a potential pick here on Dream Crusher. Oops. And then they go for the Siege Camp. And Special Kids seem to be looking for a direction. What should we do? Looks like they want to pressure bot lane.
Yeah, that's between Blaze and capturing that camp. They gave away their position. They are rotating all the way bottom, but Special Kids might get some siege in here before a bit of a tussle.
Thought United East might start the boss there since they knew Special Kids were all the way across the map, but instead they want to team fight, so they rotate to bottom lane. Leoric gets a slow out on Miles, but there's no follow-up from the team as they work on Siege Camp instead. So we move from potential PvE to potential PvP to PvE in that sequence there.
Now, Stitch is really committing in the to slam in the talent spell. Went with Pulverize at 20. I almost always a big fan of the Pac-Man ult where you just gobble everyone up with Gorge, but they really want that slam value.
Noob to Hire is channeling the top altar and gets it while Silver Steel gets stunned out. Oh, but not in time. That's gonna bring Special Kids core down to 3 as a team fight. Erupts here, Bring is out.
Oh, Jaina trying to finish off, but gets Kel'Thas pops the shield. Will get Gorge and tuck behind. It is 3-20 in favor of United East, but Towers of Doom is not over until the last core shot comes out.
Nope, if you can get an XP lead late and maintain it into the late game where death timers are long, you can get a lot of work done with just 1 or 2 kills on the enemy team and really reverse your fortunes. And we're seeing that a little bit here as Special Kids moves all the way into United East territory and takes the bottom keep, so turnabout is fair play.
Has destroyed a fort.
United East is just kind of hanging out in their base for now.
Not even risking it. They want to make sure they're full strength before they maybe trickle die or cause anything that would cause a snowball effect, lose this lead they've been working so hard on gaining.
Yep, well said. Wisely chosen on their side. They have a full team again, United East, and they're defending this middle keep. And as you can see, now that bot lane belongs to Special Kids, they have more of a run of the map now. Can kind of dictate things a little bit more. Another potential hook target goes wanting. And we have 2 altars as another altercation begins here. Ring comes out, Dream Crusher's super low, so is Arg and Diablo will be the first one to die, followed by Kael'thas. But that's going to be all she wrote as United East wins game 1, 20-0 on the core health tally. GG's.
That was a close one. That came down to that last capture, because if United East was able to interrupt that and end up taking that, we could have really seen a miracle. That's what I'm looking for. Turnover in favor of Special Kids.
Yeah, as you said, anything's possible there at the end, but difficult to defend more than one of those altars. Unfortunately, there was a 2 altar spawn. That was kind of the end of things. Not a particularly bloody game, 11 kills to 5 in favor of United East. Seeing Lunar and Kael'thas putting out most hero damage in that game, with identical 1, 4, and 2 stat lines. Malfurion doing 40k heal, Uther doing 26. There's some key D shields in there.
Oh yeah, D Shield very possibly won the game there. Saving those gorge targets was essentially Special Kids' game plan. There was to get those 4v5s and just take over the map, take over the bottom lane, get all the core shots you want. But going invincible is quite a good counter for that.
Yes, both solo laners having a good game as well. Let's go ahead and build the lobby for game 2. Looks like we're going to be going to Cursed Hollow. Anything else in the stat screen that sticks out for you?
One thing I'm kind of noticing here is Jaina hit 28,000 hero damage, which was almost as much as the Diablo there, which just proves how much of a good zoning tool Lightning Breath is.
Yeah,
I mean, like, even people
some
walking
kills in
out
that
of
game
it.
too, for sure. Save some lives with it.
Because if you're in a situation where Lightning Breath is on all of you, you instinctively just want to walk out of it, but the slowing factor makes it even more painful and punishing. So you really have to go in and try and burst down Diablo as fast as you can to really make sure they don't get as the. Yeah, it's like it's a better recourse than trying to just walk out of it. So you have to kind of fight that internal logic of don't stand in the fire. Lightning, excuse me. It's totally lightning. That's why it's yellow red.
Alright, just getting game 2 set up here. Let's see, this is Cursed Hollow was United East's map pick, so first hero ban and pick will go to Special Kids this time around, as they're going to look to even up the score and get a draw out of tonight. Cursed Hollow, maybe we'll see some global action here. It's a giant map, 2 bosses as well, so you might see some heroes picked that have point control. You can secure those bosses. What else do you think of when you think of Cursed Hollow, Beef?
I think Twin Blade Varian. A character that can pretty much solo a boss if they're beefy enough. On that kind of map, I mean, because you wouldn't expect, you see 4 players off doing their own thing, and then suddenly a boss is just taken. You know, they need very little to no help making that happen. And having a boss push down one of your lanes, say, if a curse is coming up on the other side of the map, that can be a hard decision for a team to make. What are you going to get more value of, that possible tribute or the defending your base from guaranteed siege damage from a boss?
Yeah, macro can Be really interesting on this map and how teams manage their rotations. Not like a smaller map like Spider Queen where you can kind of run around willy-nilly. Just be a little more intention there in how you move around. Let's see here. Let's get rid of the... We're almost ready for game 2. We have one player. He's yet to filter into the lobby here. Looks like we're all aboard. See if both captains are ready. Alright, Special Kids and United East are ready, so we're going to go ahead and hop into the game. Game number 2.
Cursed Hollow.
Game number 2, as we said, on Cursed Hollow between these two Division D East teams. United East looking for a domination with a second win here. Special Kids looking for a draw. And Diablo is going to be the first ban out of Special Kids.
Immediately, Special Kids like, yeah, I think we're done with the lightning breath. That's just not this game.
Yeah. United East responds with a Rainer ban. And we're going to see round... second ban? Ooh, Abathur. So getting rid of a global, getting rid of potentially a lot of lane pressure that can be generated by the space slug.
Yeah, you don't see Abathur banned that often, but if having the right character at the right time just superpowers them. Not to mention you get the free bugs of pushing on such a large map. Abathur has so much room to sort of play and manipulate the map the way this is.
Respect ban on Stitches.
Despite not really getting a ton of value out of the hook and gorge combo, they were doing everything right. They were landing their targets. They were getting them separated from the team, even behind gates at some point. I mean, if it wasn't for Uther stepping up and almost suicidally charging in with the D shield, they would have gotten so many more kills that game because of it.
All right, and we see Dahaka as the first hero picked on this map. Always a strong pick here with that global I was talking about. There's a response on the side of United East with Muradin. You're all around solid tank there. Stuns, high health pool, lots of mobility. And Phoenix. Special Kids with the Deckard Thrall rotation. What do you think about that?
That's a lot of rooting, and you can combo the scroll in a very small area. Scroll will be even harder to get out of, and then we have two stationary targets hit by a Frost Wolf, stun them even more. So it's just a lot of control for those takes.
Yes, and Thrall can talent into a stun as well. Level 10. There goes the Hanzo ban. Hanzo's good on this map, but it might also be a bit of a targeted ban. I think Special Kids has a Hanzo player on their team, so that might have been researched as well. Let's see what the final ban of the game is here. Rhaegar banned out by Special Kids. Rhaegar giving you a lot of PvE capability that many other supports do not provide. You can take camps while the rest of the team is busy doing something else, for example. Really good heals, can finish off kills. But he's not in this game. Instead, Karazim is. And Kael'thas.
You don't see too often Kael'thas being taken before Jaina. So I guess they were liking what Kael'thas was putting out last game and said maybe we want to pick that up, maybe supplement the the loss of the Diablo Lightning Breaths for the damage and control for tributes.
I wonder if we'll see a Jaina response here out of Special Kids in this last rotation for them. They go for the poison damage out of Lunar and Johanna, arguably the strongest warrior in the league right now. Nice wave clear. You have those blinds coming out. Should affect Phoenix and Karazim at least. And super tanky with Iron Skin.
It's a good counter. So I'm getting kind of like a, not quite a divey feel, but the tank and healer are definitely going to be jumping on people. Oh, might be seeing that Twin Blade.
Yep, there's the Varian that you talked about last game that we didn't see. Making an appearance. Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, with Johanna, when you have two people dive in like that, the slow from Punish and the blinding from Shield Glare can really make you think twice about having to jump directly into someone's backline.
Yeah, what do you think about the Varian into the Johanna?
It really depends on what flavor of Varian. That's what's going to come down to. Because Johanna, really bad target to try and go in on, especially if you're Smash or something, because Iron Skin will pretty much negate all of that. But if you're Twin Blade, you might be going for more of a lane control with the bosses and camps. So, kind of iffy in terms of team fighting, but everything else is looking pretty good in favor of Varian.
Alright, let's go into the full screen game layout here. As we look at Special Kids, Johanna, played by Miles, Deckard, played by Lily Main BTW, Dahaka, played by Dream Crusher, Lunara by Lister Fiend, and Thrall, be played by Arg 1083. As we finish the load in here.
On the side of United East, we have Murden, played by Demon Zerg, Phoenix, played by Korix, Karazim, played by Nubra Hire, Varian, played by Silver Steel, and Kel'Thas, played by Fancy Ursa.
Alright, as we see the level 1 talent picks coming out here. Looking like Scroll of Identify for Deckard, so he's going to want to be stacking right away. Tissue Regeneration from Dahaka, Sentinel Wisp out of Lunara, Echo of the Elements from Thrall, and Laws of Hope from Johanna. We have 3 Special Kids marching down bot. They're doing a 1-1-3, not bothering with the how do you do 5-on-5 in the middle that we see sometimes. They just want to pressure bot right away, it looks like. A little bit of a bush meta.
I noticed at United East talent picks, not only did Kel'Thas also go with the safe mana dick and talent, but Varian also went Hiking's Quest, which to me smells of that, could be that Twin Blade, because I don't really see that working well for taunt. Smash, it's pretty good too, but this isn't really quite a Smash comp unless you want to really get rid of Deckard Cain.
Alright, a little bit of a tussle down here in bottom lane, but not too much comes out of it. And let's see, middle has a 2v1 going on, and we have Silver Steel versus Dream Crusher in the top. Looks like the hottest action is down in bot though. Deckard landing a couple roots early in the game. He's up to 2 stacks. Kel'Thas misses the stun. And that is a 70s spray. Looking good on the map right there. United East are going to move over to their siege camp. They're going to initiate that macro game right away.
Uh-oh. Silver Steel at top lane almost got caught up by a tongue trying to catch Dahaka off guard in a bush, but Dahaka ported right next to him. Well, nothing will really quite come of that, though.
Some interesting 1v1 matchups so far in this iteration of Cursed Hollow. With bot lane continuing to see most of the action. Level 4 talents coming out for United East.
Oh, we have a taunt coming from Varian. Interesting decision there.
Surprised?
I am.
Thrall's working on the siege camp for special kids. First tribute will be spawning in 25 seconds on the north side of the map. As United East works the bot lane here, supporting the camp that they took a little bit earlier. Getting a little bit of siege damage out on the buildings. We're going to see these two teams begin to converge around this tribute. The key here with early tributes especially, you don't want to die for one. Give away too much XP. Dahaka landed a tongue there to kick all this off. Fancy Ursa is going to try to cap the first tribute. Dream Crusher getting low. Chahana pulling everybody in. And it will be Dahaka dying to Varian.
Getting that living bomb value too, spreading throughout special kids.
More root stacks for Deckard. It's up to 8 now. And United East is going to have a slight lead in XP here. Now, all important race to 10 as we fight in the middle. Arg in a tough spot will eventually lose their life to Karazine.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice.
United East getting a couple of early kills here in the game. They decide to angle up for their bruiser camp. And they are up 1-0 in tributes. Special kids. Looks like they're just going to position for that tribute. This is only the second tribute of the game, so it will not result in a curse, not quite yet.
Earlier in the game, I was questioning why Varian was taking such an aggressive stance against Dahaka, because that seems like a really hard matchup for you. Go ahead.
Kael'thas getting grabbed by Dream Crusher and destroyed. That's going to be first kill of the game for Special Kids as they answer back and take their first tribute of the game. Level 7s had come out for both teams right before that engagement.
It's a lot of lockdown. That's what we saw. We saw the Scroll of Identify, and then you saw the Wolf come out. And all that combination is just so much to make such a soft target like Kael'thas stand in. It's very punishing.
Demonzer got into a little bit of trouble there, but you know, it's Moradin, so he just hopped away. No sweat. Dahaka's gonna do Dahaka things. Use that global.
Shall we see who gathers?
Jumps in, says, I'm Muradin. 3v1, it doesn't matter. You can't. I know for a fact you can't finish me, and with third wind, you're essentially invincible unless you lose that last crucial life point.
New Dire teleporting in. A little bit of flare there. Lots of warning signs popping up on the map here. So whoever wins this will be one tribute away from a curse. Let's see how hotly it will be contested here. Looks like everyone's involved. 5v5. Once again, Demon Zerg and Dream Crusher taking lots of damage.
Muradin's forced to hop out. Doesn't even wait for the third wind to come in. Notices Thrall and Deckard in the back. Wants to disrupt as much as possible, giving United East as much room as they can to pile on Dahaka. Will they go down? That Lunara is not giving them any quarter. Karazim heals himself, jumps to Phoenix. Oh, well, just survive with about 300 health.
Same with Noob to Hire. Seems like
if Muradin was able to disrupt that, that would have been amazing. Just for the fact that he actually was able to pull it off.
so. Special Kids take the second tribute here, but United East are undeterred. They're going to push in bottom lane here, even though it's a 4v3 situation. Karazim entering the engagement here. Getting some damage out onto Lunara. Arg caught out of position here and deleted. Demons are hopping out with only 400 life. There's a little bonus kill earned there by United East.
Thrall smelt blood in the water and really wanted to bonk Karazim on the head, but with so much backup from the rest of United East, couldn't pull it off. I mean, and when you're a Thrall, when you're that far in, you pretty much have to commit because there's really no chance of you casually walking away from that team there.
Level 10's out for both teams. Seeing additional stuns out of Johanna. We see Lornado. We see Earthquake out of Thrall. Avatar out of Muradin. There's the Earthquake. Here's the Phoenix. Out comes the Planet Cracker. Demon Zerg 300 health. Nice stun by Fancy Ursa to prevent Lunar from putting out even more damage, but Muradin is going to die to poison.
That was super close. I could have sworn third was going to kick in there.
Popping the Iron Skin, surviving Silversteel super low. And that's going to be a curse for Special Kids. They're looking for that 1-1 draw, as I said earlier. First curse is theirs.
To finish my thought earlier about Varian and why they're taking such an aggressive stance at top against Dahaka, because to me that would be like a very, very difficult thing to do. When you're Varian that early in the game, you don't really have any of your tools to be the Varian everyone knows and loves, or in some cases hates. But looking at their Globe Quest for High King's Quest, they're at 18 of the 20, and it's not even 10 minutes in. The Globe Quest being probably the final part of all that.
Some amazing roots coming out from Deckard Cain. They're helping to secure the kill on Kael'thas in bottom lane. As Special Kids takes down 2 forts so far with this curse. And they're up 12 to 11 in XP. Kills are even 4 to 4. United East able to save just one of their 3 forts. And now, Special Kids are going to work on their boss.
Getting these boss timers on Cursed Hollow is pretty... It's like half the map, really, just balancing the timers of these 2 bosses, because those make or break your entire game.
Lunara sending a Wisp over to check on United East's boss. But United East is doing their bruisers instead, as Varian does some maintenance top lane. Muradin maintenance bottom lane.
Might want to go cash in that boss. They have the 13 advantage. They're ready to fight over it, and United East is pretty spread out. They won't be able to really defend them unless they start moving now, essentially.
Yep, boss is marching along that bot lane. There is no fort to stop it, so it's going to go right toward the keep. And Special Kids doing that double boss thing you can do on this map.
Might just walk into the wrong barrio. Will not get punished. Will miss. Dahaka misses this tongue. Very just nopes out of there as fast as they can.
And that will be a double boss take for Special Kids. Both teams at 13s. United East clearing that bot boss, so now they just have to work on this top lane. They do have 1 tribute. Special Kids reset to 0 after getting the curse.
Losing both bosses is obviously not great, but at least they're early in the game, so it won't be terribly punishing. Probably maybe half the health on this gate, that's about it. At this point, I think that's more about resource denial than really getting any true value out of the boss.
Alright, Demon Zerg moving in here, establishing some territory. Maybe not, though. Special Kids, go ahead and finish off the fort in the middle. Little insult to injury, perhaps, as a bush meta. It's going to surprise Miles. Out comes Planet Cracker. Arc taking a lot of damage, below 50%. United East is saying we're not done here. As Fancy Ursa captures point. So many roots, so many blinds. It's 2 kills for Dahaka. Palm comes out on Silversteel. It's not going to be enough to save him. Dahaka landing a tongue on Noob to hire. Karazine trying to teleport to safety and does.
The double dash! Noobs for a hire. Really, really flexing the Karazine skills. They're not only hanging out with the whole team, making sure Varian gets the palm needed to survive, but positioning themselves to get that double dash and get away scot-free with it too. That's a very impressive play.
United East is 1 tribute away from getting a curse of their own, though, after all is said and done. So they're going to be moving on in here to this top region tribute. It's going to be spawning in 1 second.
Varian finds the target they're looking for, but a combination of the deck of Cane Potions and the shielding will not make it down. Kel'Thas a bit out of position, gets pulled back in.
Another
Palm
great
coming out
palm.
again.
But Lunara's super low. Has to watch out. So is Arg. Thrall's going to die. Lunara's dead. The final route from Deckard to say, fine, the curse is yours. That's 3 kills to none in favor of United East as they move right away to the middle fort. Are they just going to go right by it to keep wall? What are they doing here? They're moving down now.
Oh yeah, they want that keep.
Yep,
Want to make sure the
bottom keep.
catapults get in there and start causing more problems. The Haka getting caught off guard a bit. Well dug underground.
Deckard Root's not going to save his life. It's a great pick for United East as they take this keep. They just want a clear path to victory here. And they have 16s.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Not pressing their luck though, even though Special Kids just got their 16s, they do not want to have to give up anything extra.
United East moves to the middle. We're seeing things like Stone Form, Cleansing Touch, Banner of Ironforge, and Fury of the Sunwell coming out for United East as they pressure this middle keep. Curse is about to end, 3 seconds away.
The Earthquake might be enough to punish Deckard catching just the very tip top of the triangle, but no further engagements from Special Kids.
Yep, United East getting a lot of work done. They take the first keep of the game. What do you see on the side of Special Kids in terms of talent choices at 16?
But 2 interesting things here. Varian went Banner of Ironforge, so they're looking for survivability in that small team fight thing, as opposed to maybe boosting Kel'Thas with the Kirin Tor banner. So they're going for like more of a survivability out of Varian, and Kel'Thas went the Fury of the Sunwell instead of the. Oh yeah, here we go. Another big fight. They want that boss.
Planet Cracker getting lots of value there. Kel'Thas notching 2 kills. United East moves in and takes this boss. 18 to 17 in favor of United East in terms of power level.
Miles caught out.
With some B-stepping.
The combination of the double tornado to Planet Cracker just melted both of Deckard Cain and Thrall in that one. That combination, it was nasty.
Yeah, a devastating sequence right there for Special Kids. As United East is going to move right on to core here. Phoenix comes out to zone. Core is going down fast, 50%. This is going to be GG and a domination for United East. GG.
Games. Boy, Special Kids gave United East an inch, and they took it a mile with that one curse and then a boss take at the end just to... Unfortunately, in the exact same lane that they just cleared out of the keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Special Kids are doing really well in game 2. Kind of just snowballed on them at the end. They had that double boss take. It seemed like all the momentum was on their side.
Another I mean, yeah, the team fights were brutal, but gosh, the 6 to 12. That's really not that high of a body count, all things considered.
Let's not block that. Yeah, let's look at some stats here for just a moment, and then we'll have an interview, hopefully, with the captain of United East, Demon Zerg. But, yeah, looking at some numbers for a second here. Deckard, 60k healing to Karazim's 34, but it just didn't matter. Karazim posting a 3-kill, 9-assist line, no deaths. Lunara and Kael'thas having a great game. Kael'thas with 4 kills, 8 assists, highest hero damage in the game. Lunara putting out lots of hurt, but only 1 kill to show for it. What else do you see here, Beef?
I was actually kind of surprised because if I was Kel'Thas, I am such a fan of Pyroblast. I know how cheesy that is comparatively, but that big spicy meatball to blow up someone like Lunara, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on the healer to make sure that they can survive that. It's just more resource to pull into that for what is relatively a safe and fairly long range spell.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to line up the interview here.
That's fine there. I'd also like to mention that even though they took Sun King's Fury, I'm almost always used to seeing that being followed up by the Flame Strike applies Living Bomb, because that combination in itself can really catch a lot of people out, because then you have to play the Living Bomb minigame and make sure you don't spread that. Especially if you take the level 20 that, well, we can get to 20s in this game, but the Flame Strike spreads indefinitely, and that's even more chaos. So even though they don't really take a build I see too often, they pulled it off really well. What was it, 60k? Yeah, 60k damage. That's a lot.
All
for
right.
how relatively short that game was.
Looks like Demon Zerg is ready for us in lobby 2, so let's go ahead and hop over there. Hey, Demon Zerg, congratulations on your 2-0 domination tonight.
Thank
Reminds
you.
me, I need to give you a point on the screen, too. Thanks. All right, wow. Fresh off of game 2, so I think that's where I'd probably start. You want to talk about the flow of that game at all? It looks like kind of we're on your back heels there for a little while. Then what happened?
Well, I guess our comp kind of scales better into the late game between Muradin and getting healing static and, even Stone Form at 16. Like, I was out of position in a couple of those fights, and they punished me for that hard. So once I was able to get sustained talents, that helped. But also Kael'thas getting, Pyromaniac at 13, as well as getting his own Mana Shield coming up. And, I guess we also just had better rotations in the late game. Like, that last team fight on the top tribute that allowed us to get the curse, that was absolutely crucial. Us winning that.
Yeah, do you want to tell us at all about the nature of your comms during that double boss situation and recovering from that, turning it around?
In hindsight, we should have gone for our own boss instead of getting other camps, but we didn't have 13 at the time, so I was afraid they'd initiate on us and they'd widen the lead even further. And I figured at that point in the game, bosses don't do enough damage to take a keep, so it's better to just, considering how much our comp scales into the late game, better just play it safe and try to minimize loss instead of trying to go against them head on and try and make a gamble happen.
Very smartly done. What do you have on your list of questions, Beef?
Yeah, regarding the taunt variant going top, did you guys pick that specifically for, like, okay, I want to catch Lunara, I want to catch Thrall, or because I thought for sure you can do like a twin blade thing and go for a macro, because maybe even solo a boss here and there. Was that something that you were gonna do, or is that for like a impromptu? I'm gonna go taunt now.
Well, we were thinking between Taunt and Colossus Smash for his ultimate. we thought that taunt against Thrall and Lunar, if we happen to catch on rotation, which we did in that second to last fight, that crucial tribute that allowed us to get the curse, that taunt was really invaluable. And that's also part of the reason why we took Planet Cracker instead of Salvo. I'm not sure that Planet Cracker was the best ult initially, but once we got to that boss fight where we fought them at their own boss and took the win from that, I am fully confident in my team's abilities to pick the right ults now.
Game one, seems like there was some standout performances from Diablo. Just remembering a lot of, there were some nice combos out of Stitches, for example, where you had the hook gorge or hook into root. But, interesting use of Fire Breath out of Diablo to save some lives and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a staple for you guys?
Lightning Breath versus APOC is 50-50 for me. They were pretty squishy, so I was considering going for APOC, but considering that they were just going to gorge people and take them to their deaths, I figured it'd be a better idea to just take Lightning Breath, slow Stitches as much as possible, and also try and prevent the enemy team from collapsing onto whoever came out of the gorge. Do some nice tick damage.
Right. You have anything from game one, Beef?
Not too much. I would say that Uther really performed heroically, willing to just like walk up, even at some point up to the I don't know, I'm not sure what to call it, the barrier where the cannons shoot at you and pretty much instantly give you. Willing to even stick his pinky toe in there to make sure that Raynor gets the D shield. Those were very interesting plays, because those hook gorge combos. Since I'm a Stitches main myself, those 99% of the time guarantee at least one pick. But it was just very interesting to see that combination happen and not getting punished even for it.
Oh, definitely. Noob was definitely our MVP in game one with those clutch divine shields.
Also, did you want to comment on your approach to macro on Towers of Doom? I noticed there was a heavy emphasis on bottom lane, almost none on the boss, for example. I think that was Special Kid's map pick too, so I don't know, how'd you feel going into game one on that map?
I'm a little not too comfortable on towers myself. My team has only played it on one other occasion, I believe, and that was in our match against the Poverty Ponies in round one. However, we adopt the everything on bottom lane kind of approach that is so popular in NGS, or not NGS, HGC, because, those double sappers on the bottom lane, those really stack up. As for the boss play, I was afraid that if they had 5 people up, I was afraid if Stitches hooked someone, we were going to get screwed on that. Which is why we didn't emphasize the boss. We just kind of wanted to go super macro in the bottom lane, and it really helped pay us off in the end.
Awesome. Yes, it did. Now on this season, it looks like you're 7-1, if I'm not mistaken. So full steam ahead for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any shout outs before we bid you adieu?
I want to make shout outs to my team, obviously, for performing so well today. I want to shout out to Unicorns United. They're our sister team on the West Div D. I wish them luck with this round as well. And I want to make shout outs to our coach, Golden Frieza. He's really helped us with our macro. And last but not least, Special Kids. Miles, especially their tank player, he stepped up so much from when we scrimmed 2 weeks ago. He's improved so much since then. And I hope the Special Kids have a really good round with the remainder of this round.
Yeah, good games from both teams. They really put up a fight, especially in that game too. So their spirit was unbroken. But the domination does go to you and your team. So congratulations again, and good luck to you and the rest of the season. It's really fun to watch.
Thank you for casting us.
Happy to help.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, and I'm going to look up, I think